All right, so I know I have a Windows PC running in the background, so I'm a little hypocritical when I say this, but the days of Macs and MacBooks not being able to game are over. I'm telling you, it was a pleasant experience, and we're gonna get right into it. I don't know what the hell Apple's doing to these chips, but damn they're good, and damn they don't make that much noise, and damn they don't chew up your battery, even when gaming. All right, so there was a few different ways I went about playing games on the Mac, the first of which was all the native stuff. So I got the macOS Steam app, the macOS Battle.net app, and with those I played games like Balatro, Dave the Diver, Stardew Valley, and Diablo 3. Now I know what you're thinking, these are light titles, these are not that intensive, but regardless, the Mac handled them great, and it was an enjoyable experience playing on them, but I know it's not that impressive. We had to get out of the way because it was an experience I had. Another boring thing we're gonna have to get out of the way is the Dolphin emulator. Now this is something I have to mention because it was such a great experience playing it and using the Mac as a console GameCube kind of thing. Earlier this year in the winter, my friends and I decided to do a weekend getaway at an Airbnb, and I brought my MacBook equipped with the Dolphin emulator and 4 PS4 controllers, and we played Mario Party on a 60-inch screen as if it was a console. The native controller support in macOS makes it super easy to use this as kind of an on-the-go quick console. You could pair as many controllers as you want, it just works. PS4, PS5, Xbox, you could pair whatever controllers you want, and it was just a super pleasant experience using it. We also played Mario Strikers. That's a great game. Highly recommend playing that on an emulator. I know it's an emulator, and I know it's nothing impressive, but the overall experience of it was great, and I don't want to diminish that experience I had because of with the MacBook. You get what I'm saying? I know all that stuff's not impressive. All the lightweight games, Dave the Diver, Balatro, whatever, they're great games, but they're lightweight games. And it didn't impress me, just like I know it's not really impressing you. So I wanted to push this machine. I wanted to see what it can do. But the problem is all the real games are on Windows and they're not all ported to macOS. And there's not many that are ported. So that's where these compatibility layer apps come in. These apps like Whiskey, Crossover, Portkit, allow you to run Windows apps on your Mac. And towards the end of the video, I'm gonna tell you guys how you can try it out for yourself and play Windows games on your Mac. So stay tuned for that. I use an app called Whiskey to install the Windows Steam app on my Mac. And the thing about these compatibility layers is that not every game is gonna be compatible. It's kind of on a game by game basis. I got super lucky though. A game I've been wanting to play that's been in my library was fully compatible. That game's Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. And it was a great experience running this thing through the compatibility layer on the MacBook. My experience playing this game was actually great. The 120 hertz display of the MacBook makes everything look buttery smooth. The graphic settings were a little bit weird in the game, so I was able to drop the shadows and I was able to drop the resolution to 1080p because I don't need anything more than that, just to gain a little bit of extra performance. But you can't change the overall texture or anything, so the graphics look great. I don't know what it's running on. It looks like max graphics. The reflections are insane. The textures look great. I had no complaints on how the game ran, especially on a laptop, let alone, you know, it being a MacBook and not really kind of being equipped traditionally for gaming. The battery life was surprisingly really good, even for a game. You would think when you're doing something more intensive that it's gonna drain the battery a lot more. It didn't drain it much more than it would if I'm editing photos or video editing. It was still having great battery life, even when running that game. Also, the temperatures were not that bad. There's a lot of stuff going on in the back end that it's translating so that the Mac can understand what app it's running. But the temperatures, it did get warm because it is working, it's doing some work, but it didn't get uncomfortably hot and it didn't get hot to a point where you would hear the fans, which I was really surprised about. I thought for sure the fans were gonna turn on. The only time they would turn on is if I have it plugged in while I'm running the game with the added heat from the battery being charged, then it would turn on. But if it wasn't charging, this thing, you would not hear it at all. You would feel a little bit of heat, but you wouldn't hear it, it'd be quiet. All this to say, my MacBook has an M2 Pro chip. The M4 base chip that's in the MacBook Air beats that chip in benchmarks. So what the hell is Apple cooking with the M5? What is that thing gonna be capable of? Because if gaming on this is an enjoyable experience and it's great, once Apple starts reaching out to more developers to develop better titles for this, I have a feeling that casual gamers that want to play real games are gonna and want a MacBook workflow are gonna easily be able to do that. Because if this is running off a compatibility layer this well, I can only imagine native support for these real like AAA title games. I feel like there's a real future in Apple not dominating, but kind of stepping their foot into, all right, these things can actually game. I don't want to sound too much like an Apple fanboy because I got the Windows PC in the back, but you know, I'm a fan of the game. I like everything. I like Windows, I like Android, I like iPhone, I like macOS. But you can't deny the performance of Apple's chips. Probably some of the best in the market, if not the best in the laptop market right now. So if you're a frequent gamer, of course, get yourself a console or a gaming PC. But if your primary workflow is a MacBook and you just casually play games, I think you can have a tremendous experience gaming casually on a MacBook or an iMac, Mac Mini, whatever. I promised you guys I would tell you how you can run Windows games on your Mac through these compatibility layers. There's 3 popular options. There's Whiskey, Crossover, and Porting Kit. I would argue Porting Kit would be your last resort. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna break down Whiskey and Crossover for you. Let's start with Crossover. Crossover is gonna be your easiest solution to getting started. There's a free trial you could try out, but it's paid, and you get what you pay for because this thing just works. I'm gonna tell you straight up, if you want it to just work and you have the money, get Crossover. If you want a free alternative, there's Whiskey. That's what I use. There's a small workaround because the new version of Steam doesn't work, so you need to install an older one. There's a great video by Mike the Tech I've linked in the description. Watch it. He's gonna break down how to install an older version. He gives you the files and he'll give you the parameters in order to enter it into Whiskey to make sure Steam doesn't update. And then that's gonna be working just fine. There's also a list of compatible games I'm gonna link in the description for Whiskey. If your game isn't listed, you could try it out and you could share it in the description. If anyone else would play that game and it works for you on Whiskey, let them know in the comments. So that basically concludes the video. Let me know what avenue you took if you decided to go Whiskey or Crossover, or if you just stuck with native apps. Personally, I was really digging the Lego Star Wars. If you grew up playing Lego Star Wars, the new Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is only what we could have imagined playing as a kid. There's an open world aspect, the graphics are crazy, the combat's way more improved than the archaic, outdated version of the OG ones. So if you played Lego Star Wars, I would highly recommend checking that out. But let me know in the comments below, I was gonna say description. Let me know in the comments below what game you tried out, if it worked. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.